Hi everybody, I'm David. Welcome to my channel, My Yard Sale. Hey, I wanted to jump on here real quick on Sunday and just clarify some of the things that I said on my last post, which I'm going to try to link somewhere. I don't know where it links. Maybe I don't know where it links. I'm going to try to link it just to make sure that people get the right information, at least as far as I've researched. So I posted about vitamin A and D and having too much vitamin A and D because of diet and supplements. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not a healthcare specialist. I don't know everything about this stuff. But what I do know is I've had some physical problems that I couldn't really explain, and I didn't think super lean ground turkey meat was causing me my problems. And the only other stuff that I was taking or eating was supplements and vitamins. I don't think vitamins and supplements are negative at all. I think people need them. Some people need them. I think I need them. But what I did find is that without getting to toxic levels, and I think toxicity of vitamin A and D would require I don't know, a ton of vitamin A and D. You'd have to eat jars and jars and jars probably of vitamins and supplements to get to toxic levels. But what I did find in my research, and I call it my research because I do go on to Google. I look it up. I look up the medical documentation and so forth. And I did use Gemini and Chat GPT to get some of my information from. And what I'm thinking is that I didn't hit toxic levels, but what I did get was um, levels of vitamin A and D that were beyond what I should have gotten. And I know that my body is quite I don't want to say frail, but my body is pretty sensitive to different things, considering the fact that I was eating a bunch of potatoes and that wrecked my body. And I can't really totally explain that besides the fact that it was all of the carbs and just I don't know, potatoes. I guess potatoes have kind of a bad rap in some places, even though I love potatoes and I could eat potatoes every day. But unfortunately, even potatoes cause me problems. I've had this laundry list of things that have caused problems that they don't make sense. Like hot dogs cause me problems. That's protein and, of course, salts and other garbage that you probably don't want to eat. But I had a real negative impact from hot dogs and luncheon meat, bologna specifically. And then I had problems with oatmeal, which I think oatmeal is healthy and it's probably good. And I've actually eaten a little bit more oatmeal since, but I've had some problems with oatmeal again. And I didn't eat too much. I ate like maybe a quarter of a cup of oatmeal per serving, if even a quarter of a cup, maybe even less. But somehow that amount that amount of oatmeal and the fiber, it negatively impacted my body, and I had some of the same problems I had the first time. So this thing with vitamins A and D, I don't think I don't think vitamins A and D are negative or bad, but or toxic even. I think if you're taking vitamins or stuff you're getting from Walmart, I don't think it's toxic levels. It could be, I guess, if you ate the whole jar or took the whole jar. I suppose that could be toxic levels, but I don't think you're going to get toxic levels of vitamin A and D from Walmart. But everything that I've looked into and found is that elevated levels of vitamin A and D can negatively impact your metabolism in your system if you have, especially if you have sensitivity to those things, which I clearly have sensitivity to. Geez, just about everything I touch, it seems like. Hopefully, I don't get sensitivity to ground turkey because it's about all I can eat these days. Um, so that elevated level of vitamin A and D somehow touched on the sensitivity that my body is experiencing, and it did cause me some problems. And I'm not going to go through all the problems because they're kind of personal and they're not like a super good conversation point. But they were difficult to say the least. And it's definitely things that I've experienced with other things that I've worked through. Almost 99%, it has to do with my not sugar levels necessarily, although it definitely could be directly attributed by sugar levels. If I eat a lot of cookies or I eat a lot of garbage with sugars and carbs, I have not the exact same symptoms that I've had, but similar in some cases. So I just wanted to jump on here and let everybody know that I don't think that I'm allergic to vitamins A or D or I'm getting toxic levels of it. I think that I have a sensitivity that I just have to be very careful of, and more than 100% is not life-threatening to me, but definitely causes some metabolic problems that I can't explain, or I don't know how to avoid it without just not having those supplements or vitamins. So what I am trying right now is I'm trying not taking those supplements for another week or 2 weeks. Maybe next Saturday or Sunday I'll be able to do another post and have some outcome of what happened or how I'm feeling. But right now I'm definitely not taking those supplements. I'm not taking those vitamins. I'm checking to see how I feel. I actually didn't take my vitamins or my supplements yesterday. And today when I got up, and I don't think one day is going to necessarily clear out my fat soluble vitamins and the things that are in my system. I don't think one day is going to do that for me, but I actually did feel a little bit better when I woke up today. Like physically, I felt a little bit better. I got around a little bit easier. And I mean, it could have, of course, it could just be the day and what I had eaten the day before. It's hard to say. But yeah, I wanted to just jump on here and clarify that I don't think I have toxic levels of vitamin A and D. Again, I don't even know what you'd have to do, how much you'd have to take or get into your system to hit those levels. I think, like Magnus Dens was noting in his post or in his comment, that it would be incredible levels, that I think it would be ridiculously huge amounts, that it would be obvious that I was going to have a problem if I had that much of those vitamins in my system. I think it'd be obvious that I was going to have a problem. But yeah, that's not exactly what I'm saying that I think I felt. And I'm letting other people know that you don't have to take toxic levels of vitamins A and D to have negative ramifications or negative effects of those vitamins, depending on your system. Like mine, like even a slightly elevated level caused me some physical problems that was pretty unexplainable. I don't totally understand it, but it definitely had some effects that were not impossible to deal with, but made life more difficult than it already is in general. So I guess my point in that post was just to let people know. My point in this post is to let people know that it doesn't have to be huge amounts to negatively impact your metabolism or system. Even just elevated amounts can cause problems. I don't think that means that somebody who takes a multivitamin or a pill that has omega-3s with vitamin A and D added, I don't think that if you take that, a cod liver oil supplement, I don't think that you're going to necessarily have negative problems with that. But if you have a sensitivity or just a physical sensitivity, a metabolic sensitivity, it's possible you could get some of the problems that I had. Vitamin A, the vitamin A problems that I had was I was having problems with my eyesight again. I was having problems with my skin. And vitamin D, I was definitely having problems with my bones and just in general my joints. And I really couldn't think of anything else that could have been causing that. I wasn't really eating anything else. I was only eating um, ground turkey, which the ground turkey I eat is pretty clean. There's even very little fat in it. Maybe I need more fat. I don't know. But so I wanted to just jump on and clarify my post from the other day, which I am going to try to link if I can figure out how to do it. And again, I just wanted to clarify. If you have any other questions or comments, do me a favor. Put them below. I'm interested to hear them. And Ed, again, thanks for your thought and your comment, because I think it was right on point. I think that I think you're absolutely right. Too much is not impossible, but probably pretty difficult to get to with vitamin A and D to toxicity levels. But elevated levels can cause problems as well. And I think that that's what I was dealing with. I mean, we'll find out in another week. Hopefully, some of this stuff will resolve, and it'll be easier for me to just get around and deal with things. And again, I will let everybody know. I'll post it here on my channel and let everybody know. So again, thanks for checking in, and thanks for the posts and comments, or posting comments and the thoughts. I appreciate it. And any other questions or thoughts, do me a favor, leave them below. Today I'm supposed to get some sunshine. It was sunny for a couple minutes here, but it's upstate New York. It's probably gonna end up crap soon. I wouldn't doubt if as soon as the sun comes out, it starts raining right behind it, and the weather turns, and it's actually been kind of cold. Well, I say cold, but that's just because I'm from Florida, and everything more than 60 degrees feels cold to me. It's been 40 and 50 degrees at night here where I live, and when that's when it's that temperature for like more than 9 or 10 hours, the inside of the house cools down pretty quickly and it gets pretty cold. And yeah, the fact that I'm sitting here wearing a hat and I'm not wearing my my winter hat would just let people know that it's not like freezing cold, but I think it's still cold. When I'm in bed at night and I'm laying under my covers, guess what? I'm under an electric blanket because it's cold. It's funny, I was thinking about this. I remember when I lived in Florida, my grandparents had a pool, and I was one of the lucky kids in the neighborhood, because back then grandparents didn't all have pools. Well, my grandparents had a pool. I'm thankful for that. But it was funny because we used to go swimming in the pool anytime during the day, and that pool would be 90 degrees in Florida under the sun, with all the terrazzo or whatever that rock stuff is around a pool. That would heat the pool up. It would be almost like hot tub temperature inside the pool. And then my grandparents that were from New Jersey and New York, they of course would come in from the pool, and we would go in the house. They would crank the air conditioning. They would crank the temperature down so far that we would all end up coming in from the pool and outside where it was 90 degrees. We'd come into the house where it was probably 60 or 70 degrees. And it would be so cold inside the house that we would all sleep. We would go to bed at night, and we would all have a sheet, obviously, over our beds. And then there would be a thin blanket over the top of that. And that was what kept you warm at night. And that's how I feel at night now in upstate New York, the way it is now. So I feel like it can be hot outside. Like today's supposed to be 70, but I'm inside my house and it's cold. And if I lay down in my bed for a minute to take a nap, I'm getting under the electric blanket where it's warm. It's kind of funny. It feels the same way that it did when I was a kid in my grandparents' house. So I kind of get that now. I didn't understand that as a kid. Why would we come in from outside? And when we go to bed, we get under blankets. I didn't understand that. I understand that now. Because when it's hot outside here, and then you lay down in bed in the cool sheets, you kind of want that warmth to warm things up a little bit, and I think that's kind of funny. Anyways, I hope this post helps clarify a little bit of what I said yesterday about vitamin A and D, and I don't think that I'm having toxic levels. I think I just have elevated levels that my body, my metabolism is just not dealing with it well. And hopefully I'll be able to get over this soon, and hopefully just cutting out the supplement and the vitamins for a little bit is going to make me feel a little bit better. So again, thanks for the posts, thanks for the comments, thanks for everybody checking in, thanks for watching my videos. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thanks for following. Thanks for just watching this video. If you aren't subscribed, do me a favor. Please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't thought about it, or you think that this has been kind of an interesting or even an informative post, do me a favor and like my post. That'd be very helpful. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Have a good rest of the weekend. Bye, everybody.